Oh hi, I'm Daphnee Dee, and I'm here today to present you my creation for this year's Cocktail Jockey National Competition. But first, allow me to introduce you to the modern classic we'll be talking about today. The Cosmopolitan was created in the mid-80s and was served at bars such as the Odeon and the Rainbow Room in New York City, venues that cater to lots of celebrities of the time. The Cosmo is more than a cocktail, it's a cultural icon. From Madonna in the 80s to Sex and the City in the late 90s, it has been and continues to be a very popular drink. If the original recipe called for citron vodka, I'm very happy to make mine with Tito's. Tito's was actually created in the 90s with the goal of creating a quality, unflavored vodka at a time that flavored vodkas really were the star. If we go back to how it's made, the fact that it is corn-based gives it a fuller, rounder, and richer mouthful. And the fact that it's distilled in pot still will give it once again a bigger texture and a longer finish. I decided to use those characteristics to create my recipe. Then of course, we add Cointreau. Cointreau amplifies the other flavors in this drink. It is fresh, zesty, and so packed with powerful aromas of oranges that half an ounce really make it shine through. Then I add 3/4 ounces of Fino. Fino pairs with the bright and vibrant profile of the classic, but adds a salty, briny, and yeasty dimension to the cocktail. In this drink, it goes hand in hand with Cointreau. They make each other shine without overpowering one another. Then I add lemon juice. Once again, to highlight that richer mouthful. I wanted the kick of acidity, but I didn't want the harsh kick of the lime. Then, the Cosmo being a cultural icon, it comes with expectations. In my book, the drink had to carry that typical pink hush. So, in terms of quantity, I decided to go with Cheryl Cook's 1985 recipe and add just enough to make it oh so pretty. 3 dashes of unsweetened homemade cranberry juice is enough to give it both the tartness and the pretty color. Then, I remember when I met Alfred Cointreau back in Montreal, and I remember how amazed I was when I understood that Cointreau was actually a family business carried on for the 6th generation. So I guess I wanted to add a little bit of mine. My grandmother's family moved to Notre-Dame du Bon Conseil in 1879. We're the 6th generation to own land there. We've been farming many things, but amongst others, and what I loved most when I was a kid, we farm maple syrup. So I add a bar spoon. I do it not only because of my heritage, but because that sweetness really will bring more balance and texture to the drink, and its flavor is gonna add a subtle layer of complexity and it's gonna linger on the finish. So now it's time to shake it. Ooh. So I'm happy to present you the Cosmo for Suzanne. It is bright, fresh, tart, and pretty, just like the classic, but it also has more complexity, more texture, and a lingering finish that really distinguishes it from its predecessor. Lastly, I'm going to garnish it with a flamed orange zest. Of course, in honor of Del de Groff's recipe, but also because it adds more depth to the cocktail and really brings out the beautiful orange flavors of Cointreau. And we really want to keep that beautiful scent all the way through. Dear judges, the Cosmo for Suzanne. Cheers!